Hello, Zaya here, back for an energy update. This one is specifically about relationships and core wounds that have affected relationships. So what I'm seeing right now is a lot of us have been getting to deeper layers of healing within ourselves and getting closer and closer and closer to the root of some of our core wounds that have played out in relationships. So that might be the abandonment wound. That might mean suppressing your primal energy, or that might be sexual. That might be with parents or with lovers or in business. But there's been a deepening of awareness of some of the core wounds that have kept us in these patterns, in these relationship patterns that we're so ready to break out of. Like, we're so fucking ready to break out of them. But here's the opportunity. There's people coming into a lot of our lives, and it might be someone that's been in your life for a while, or the relationship dynamic is shifting, or it's a new person you just met. But these people are really highlighting for you and acting as a mirror for some of your deep core wounds. Because you've done so many layers of healing to get to a point where you're at the bottom. You're at like the seed of the weed, and we want to pluck the weed. And so there's people in our lives that are almost like secret allies. Or we might know they're allies, but they could be stirring up dust. It could feel serious. It could feel tumultuous. It could feel like you're beating your head against a wall, which I have felt recently. But there's people coming into our lives that are reflecting the core wound that we experienced with someone else. And we have the opportunity to kind of address them at the same time, both with the actual person that the core wound was established with, and with the person that's in our life that's bringing it up in us, that's reflecting it in us. And this will be a little bit different for everybody, so just find where this lands for you and how this resonates for you. But we're really in a season of, there's still a little bit of a void space, an unknown space, but things are starting to click in and clarify. So the invitation is to really look at how you can bring harmony into your body, into your mind, into your heart, and into your nervous system around these wounds, these relationship patterns or dynamics that are coming up, that have been coming up for a while. It's an opportunity to harmonize within yourself. So rather than get triggered and get lost in your reaction to it, when something comes up, pause, take a breath, tune into your body, feel the energy, feel the rage, feel the fire, feel the emotion, feel it all happen, and give yourself space to be in what's coming up for you, and then respond. This is the 1-degree shift that will change the trajectory of your relationships and actually move through the core wound so it doesn't continue to play out. So you might want to find, I'm seeing like a mudra, like a hand position, or somewhere on your body that you immediately go to touch in order to bring your attention to the physical body. It can be really easy to get caught up in chaos and emotions and trigger and kind of lose yourself. So if you can find a position or a place on your body to touch as an anchor, so that you remember something happens and you touch yourself here and you come home to yourself, you come into your body. Because a lot of the core wounds that are surfacing are disassociation. Something happened where we disassociated. We didn't get a need met, a boundary was crossed, and so you didn't feel safe and you might have dissociated. Unmet need and a boundary being crossed are two big core wounds that are coming up to heal right now. So the next part of that is to set the intention to learn the lesson and bring it to completion. Set the intention to learn the lesson and bring it to completion. In order to bring it to completion, you will have to do something differently, and it will probably be something that feels very vulnerable. It might be having a conversation. It might be asking someone to hold you when you cry, when there's a lot of anger and resentment built up. It might be you being the one to open your heart and be vulnerable in order to invite the other person into that heart connection. Because a lot of us get stuck up in the mind, and something is triggered, we go to the mind, and all of the stories play out about this happened, and you did this, and that means this, and this, that, and the other. We have these wild meaning formulas around this means this, means this, and since that happens, that means this, which obviously means this, which of course means this, that, and the other. And then before we know it, we're like in this whole story of meaning that isn't necessarily relevant for what's actually happening. But our mind can take us through those loops, and the neural pathways are so anchored in these belief systems, in these thought forms, that we just get lost in our stories, and me versus you, and right and wrong, and black and white. What we're doing is moving away from the stories and back into the heart. Think of what comes up for you when I say this. Like, where do you have an opportunity where you feel like you've been kind of hitting a wall with someone, and like talking doesn't work, communication isn't it, we have different ideas about what happened, we have different memories about what happened, like we're just not meeting, we're not seeing eye to eye. That's the opportunity to move from the mind into the heart. And how can you just be sad, cry tears, feel frustrated, like move through the more protective layers of emotion, which could be defense, anger, projection, frustration. These are protective emotions that kind of keep you distanced from somebody. And move through those layers to peel them back within yourself to get to the hurt, the disappointment, the heartbreak, and express that. Not necessarily with words, but with your body, with your emotion, with eye contact, with a hug, with something vulnerable. And it might be sharing, it might be spoken. But you have to first get through the layers of the defensive emotions to get to the core emotions that are closer into you, that are closer to your heart, that are deep, deep within, that are wrapped around this wound. That could bring up resentment of, why do I have to be the bigger person? And why do I have to lead? Why can't you? You should know. You should be able to meet me here. You should understand what I'm saying. This is the opportunity for you to take a leadership role in your own healing, in your own vulnerability, in your own way that you relate with people. As long as you're still carrying these protective emotions, you're holding yourself on these outer layers of the wound to protect yourself from feeling what's really underneath it. And that's the opportunity that's coming up right now in all kinds of relationships. And this is important because, especially for people who are single or are in a relationship, but really wanting to anchor a divine partnership, a sacred union, especially if you're single and calling in a partner. We have people coming into our lives to help us get to the core wound so we can align from a pure heart. We can click in with our person from a place of love rather than from a place of wounding. A lot of our relationships in the past have been trauma bonds. Both parties are playing out core wounds from childhood, and it's just another relationship, another iteration of the same core wound. An example of that would be a narcissist and an empath, a super sensitive, open person who kind of shape shifts and overgives and doesn't necessarily have boundaries because you feel everything. This empath and the narcissist, where everything is about them, and they go well together because they reflect the core wounds that can act out together. So we can kind of look at what dynamics have played out, what archetypes have played out in our relationships. Do I constantly feel like I'm victimized? Do I constantly feel like, why me, why me, why me? Or do I constantly feel like, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough? Like, what is the recurring thought? What is the recurring belief or story in the mind? And that can point to the wound that's coming up to heal. But we have to be the ones to get to the core of the feeling underneath it within ourselves, and then connect with people from that core feeling. This is happening right now because a lot of sacred unions are coming together. A lot of divine partnerships are coming together and they're anchoring. So practicing non-attachment is really important. Letting go of time frame, letting go of how long a relationship should be in your life, letting go of what it means, and letting people come in and out of your life as needed to be allies in your healing, your growth, and in your journey to partnership, whether you're in one or you're wanting to deepen the one you're currently in. There's a big lesson of non-attachment right now when it comes to relationships. And that non-attachment grants both parties the freedom to be able to really stand in their own energy and connect from a place of sovereignty, rather than be so attached to who it is or what it means or how long you're here or the type of dynamic it needs to be, which is really more of an enmeshment energy of, I need you to be this for me, or you want me to be this for you, or I don't really know what I'm feeling or what I want because I'm feeling you and I'm just unclear. It's just kind of blurry. The non-attachment gives us the space and the freedom to be in our own energy and let them be in their own energy. And to see from this place of sovereignty of, this is my vision for my life. This is what I desire long term. This is what partnership means to me and how I see that going down. And then the other person can do the same because they're in their own energy and they can be clear on their vision and their desire. And then you get to see from a non-attached place, does this align? Are our paths parallel? Can we hold hands and stay on our individual paths and at the same time create a path together? But we're seeing where we enmesh with other people. We're seeing where we lose ourselves with other people. And that could be as simple as, I have a nightly practice or my evening meditation. Oh, but I'm dating this person and he comes over and I just want to spend all this time with him. So I'm like, I'll skip my meditation tonight. And you give up your own personal thing because of someone else. Not necessarily they're asking you to or expect you to, but we're being shown where we let go of our own boundaries, where we abandon ourselves to be enmeshed with somebody else. So we're seeing this energy of enmeshment, of combining, versus the energy of being two individual beings and being able to form a heart connection and come together from there. That is how the powerful unions will anchor, is from a place of personal sovereignty on both sides and coming together as a clicking in, rather than losing yourself and morphing into this thing together. Because when we're both standing in our sovereignty and have our own energy and thoughts and visions and desires, we can click in a way that's harmonious, where we balance each other, where we support each other. And from that aligned place, then that third entity of the union, the joint energy, can then be birthed from there. But the two individual pieces are necessary for the most aligned union to come together. So be in this process with curiosity, with non-attachment, with the intention of anchoring your own energy signature, because it is your fully vibrant energy signature that will click in with your partner's energy signature. That's why the core wounds are coming up. We might be seeing, oh shoot, if this is my energy signature, think of like how you sign your name. If this is my signature, but the last 2 letters of my name are missing, it's dormant, kind of like a neon sign, and one of the letters is gone, and so it spells a different word. That's what's happening with our energy signature. So people are coming into our lives and reflecting to us and showing us where a part of our energy signature is not fully online, where one of the letters is dormant. And so it's not our true signature. It might say Za instead of Zaya. Well, on a soul level, my partner feels Zaya. My partner sees or experiences Zaya as something resonant in his body, and vice versa. There's something about his energy that when I feel it in its totality, I feel it and it clicks and it feels aligned for me. But if there's a part of him that's dormant, or there's a part of me that's dormant, there's a part of us that's shifted or kind of morphed or wounded, it could be the thing that is prohibiting us from fully clicking in. So that's why people are coming in to show us the parts of ourselves that are dormant or not fully healed. And we can, from a place of non-attachment, allow these people to bring this up in us for us to heal those core wounds, to get back to our pure state of radiance, of this is who I am at my core, at my truth, at my heart, at my soul. And from that place, these unions will anchor. So be patient, stay the course. I know it's a lot coming up for people right now, like deep, deep core wounds. So give yourself grace in the process. Know that it all has a purpose, and light and dark are both important. We want to be able to be met by our partners in our darkness just as much as in our light. We want to be able to be held in our deep, dark, scary, unlovable places. And so we're being shown those right now. Anything else on that? Let go of time. But I do see within the next 3 months a lot of relationships coming together. Either a current relationship deepening in a new way, or new relationships coming in and clicking into partnership. Don't be attached to who it is. Don't be attached to what it looks like. Be clear on how you want to feel. Be clear on certain things that are non-negotiables that you really desire, but ultimately let yourself be surprised. There's an element of surprise here that's a really fun and kind of bubbly. Like let yourself be surprised by the universe, by synchronicities, by people. Like let yourself be met in ways that you didn't even know you wanted to be met. Let yourself see things that, I didn't even know I wanted that, but I like that. Like, I want that, more of that, please. Yes, there's some darkness and density moving through, but there's also this like expansive opportunity. I didn't even know to ask for that. I didn't even know that's something I liked. So we're really playing with all of it right now. So this is not a time to do, push, force, It's a time to really honor the flow and feel all of the road bumps that are coming up. If you were driving in a car and you know there's speed bumps, you slow down so you go over them gracefully. You don't speed up and like bounce over it and hurt your car. So there's speed bumps right now. Slow down. Pace yourself as you go over them. Set the intention to learn the lessons and bring the wounds to completion so you can click into what is divinely yours to click into in love and harmony and grounded exploration. Okay, I hope that resonates. I would love to hear how that lands or what comes up for you in the comments below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, share it with a friend if this might resonate, and subscribe so you're first to know about future videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.